weekly training call. Tonight we want to talk to you specifically about social media marketing, how to do it right, things to avoid, just some kind of tips that we've learned along the way, and we probably all can say we all did it completely wrong when we first started. I know if I went back almost 5 years ago, and I think at this point I've deleted all those posts because they're just so horrifying to look at. I don't know what was even happening. Somehow it worked, but it wasn't because I was doing it right at all. So a lot of this stuff is things that we have learned through trial and error along the way and are still doing training on and still working on ourselves. And we just wanted to bring you guys some of our top tips for Facebook marketing. I feel like I say this a lot, and I think that it applies tonight especially. There might be some things that we suggest tonight that you hear and don't love hearing. You may think that's not really me, or I could never do that, or that's outside my comfort zone. Do it anyway. Do it anyway. There are so many things when I started that I said that too. I had a very, very small circle of friends on Facebook. I was a really, really, really private person. I also felt like I kind of have a little bit of spitefulness in me, and I don't love being told what to do. And so when people gave me specifically suggestions on how to do Facebook marketing, what to do and what not to do, I got a little offended. Like, that's my Facebook page. Like, that's my personal page. I can do whatever I want on it. But obviously that eventually over time did not help my business as much as it could have if I had actually listened to the advice of the people who were giving it. So you may hear things tonight and you may be exactly like I was back then. You may think it's my personal page, I can do whatever I want, or that's outside my comfort zone. And if that's your feeling and attitude, just know that success is going to take a little bit longer for you. And so we want you guys to really take to heart what we're sharing with you guys tonight and hopefully apply them to how you do your marketing. One thing, if you are not posting on Facebook, it is kind of like if you owned a storefront and you never had the lights on, you never had the sign flipped to on. People don't know that you are in this business if you aren't posting about it on social media. That's the only way. We don't have storefronts. That's the only way that people know that you're actually in this business. And they need to know that you're committed to it, that you're doing it every single day, that it's not just once in a while, because we want her to build businesses. And they're not going to want to join or order from somebody who just seems like they're half in, half out. People want to order from somebody or join under somebody who's committed, who they know is passionate, who they know is going to be there for the long haul, they can count on. And so we need to make sure that we remember that when we're posting on Facebook. Maybe you think, I don't want to post every day because I don't want to drive my friends crazy. That is not the correct mindset. What we have changed lives. Our opportunity changes lives, and people need to know how passionate we are because we have something worth being passionate about. One thing, my top tip that I'm going to share with you guys, and this was something, again, that was super, super hard for me because I was a really, really private person. And this is actually more, Andrea and Ashley are going to talk more about how to market for Plexus. I'm going to talk a little bit more about your non-Plexus posts because I personally feel that they are just as important, if not more important, than your Plexus posts. Because people buy you before they buy the products. You are the brand that you are selling. Who you are is the brand that you are selling. If you've ever gone to a store to buy tennis shoes or maybe a laptop or something, an electronics store, and you see something that's there that's a brand that you've never heard of, and maybe it's on a really big sale, but you're like, I've never really heard of that brand. I don't know how reliable it is. I don't really know much about it. So you choose a brand that is something that you know. Maybe it's Apple, maybe it's HP, maybe whatever it is, because you know that brand and you know that they're going to be reliable. You know what they stand for. And so you might be willing to spend a little more because it's a brand that you're familiar with, a brand you're comfortable with. It's the exact same with our businesses. If people don't know who you are, what you stand for, that they can count on you, then they're going to join the order under somebody else, and they're not even going to really pay attention to your Plexus posts if they don't know who you are as a person and what you stand for, because they need to feel comfortable with you. They're not going to reach out to you about what you're selling. They're not going to respond to your cold messages. if they don't feel like they have some kind of connection to you and know who you are. I'm sure that Andrea and Ashley can attest to this. It always amazed me when the first convention I went to as a Jewel, and people came up to me and knew who I was, and I had no idea who they were. And they knew like about my life, and that I love tacos, and I do CrossFit, like all this stuff. But it's because, and they felt like they really, really knew me. And you know what? They really did. They really knew who I was. But that's because I put that out there on social media. And the more I started to do that, the more I let people into my lives, then the more comfortable people got to me, the more they felt like they wanted to know what was going on in my life, the more they felt, responsive to my posts and to my messages and getting on the phone with me and talking about the products, because they felt like they knew who I was as a person. And at first I had to be really intentional about it. I had to specifically think, what is it about my life that makes me me? And that may be something that you think, well, I know all this stuff, but it's kind of weird to post those things at first. Like, I love Converse, and I post about how I love Converse shoes, and obviously my love for all the junk food and working out. And there's so many specific things that you don't even think of that you just do every single day, but it's a part of who you are as a person. And the more you post about that, the more you let people into those parts of your life, the more they're going to be attracted to you, the more they're, and not like attracted, but more they're going to feel connected to you. The more they're going to feel like they know you as a person, and the more interested they're going to be in your life. And that makes such a huge difference. Because again, they're going to buy from somebody or join or somebody that they know and trust, and you want to be that person. You want to be the person when they go to the doctor and they get a diagnosis, or when somebody loses a job and they're looking for an opportunity, that you're the one they think of, because they've seen you and they know your character and they know what you stand for, and they know that you're going to be in there for the long run with them. So that's kind of, I could literally talk about, I think probably all of us could talk about this topic all night long, because there's so many good points. But just, and again, it's going to feel uncomfortable and it feels vulnerable, right? It's easy to post about the products. It's easy to post about the comp plan, because those things aren't personal. So when people don't like those things, then it's easy to just kind of brush that under the rug and keep on going. But when you put yourself out there, then you're like, well, what if they don't like me? What if they think this is silly? You just have to realize that everybody is human, that we are all here to love and support each other, and that we it's okay to be vulnerable. We don't have to be perfect. We should actually put our imperfections and our flaws out there for people, because if they feel like we're too perfect or our lives are unattainable, then that's actually going to be a little discouraging for people. So just post about who you really are, who your authentic self is. The other day I wore 2 different shoes to the gym. Like, who even does that? And I had like so many people like messaging me like, that's so funny. I had people like stop. I had one lady stop me at the grocery store. I knew from church. She's like, oh, that was so funny. You wore 2 different shoes. But people need to see that, like, just because whatever it is that we're part of this big, huge, amazing company, that we are people just like them, and that they don't have to be anybody different than who they are, because who they are is enough. And so we need to accept that about ourselves, that who we are is enough, and we need to be real with people. And the more real we are with people, again, the more people are going to feel like they know us and they trust us and want to buy our products. That is my top tip, and it's really more about your non-plexus posts, because they are equally, if not more important than even your plexus posts. My one other little tip before I turn it over to Andrea is, when you see somebody make a post, whether it's a testimony, product information, whatever it is, do not comment on their post, I'm stealing this, or can I share this, or I love this, do you mind if I share it? Don't comment anything like that ever. Just know that if somebody posts something on Facebook, they did it because it's public. There's no reason for you to ask that question, share it, copy and paste it, send it to somebody private message, post it on your personal page. If it's something that they have posted publicly for people to see, then just go ahead and copy and paste it. The point behind our posts is to have an emotional connection to people. And if they have read this post as testimony that's so emotional and so compelling, and then they feel that emotion, because people make their decisions on emotion over facts. So if they feel this emotion, then all of a sudden they're looking at the comments, they see somebody said, can I share this, or stealing this, that emotional connection is immediately gone, and they think, oh, that was just a sales pitch, never mind. So you need to make sure that you never, ever, 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 ever comment stealing this? Can I share this? Anything like that on somebody else's post. When somebody does it on mine, I delete it immediately. So feel free. It is your page, and you can delete as many comments as you want. So remember that. But those are my tips, and I'm going to turn it over to Andrea.
Okay, so first of all, speaking of like deleting stuff off of your way back when, so I started Plexus almost 6 years ago, and on my Facebook memories, all my old stuff pops up, and every single day I'm reminded about how horrible I was at posting about Plexus. So that is what I'm going to talk with you guys about tonight, because every morning I'm reminded of how embarrassing I used to be. So I lived it, and I'm going to teach you the ways not to post about Plexus. So we don't want to post salesy graphics. Anything that says something like ask me how, or join my team, or I don't know. I have already forgot the other things that we were talking about, but if it sounds salesy to you, don't post it. If you came across something on somebody else's Facebook page and somebody else was posting like that, you'd probably be turned off by it. So if you're thinking that this might be something that you would personally be turned off by, don't post it. Like Brittany was saying, you want your post to be personal, but that flows with your Plexus post as well. You want your Plexus posts to be as personal as possible. So we want to be taking selfies with our pink drink. Show your face. Everybody on this call is beautiful. It does not matter what you look like. If you wake up in the morning and you have the messy mom bun, you've got mascara from 3 days ago, 10 days of dry shampoo, it doesn't matter. Post it, because like Brittany was saying, you want to be real and vulnerable. You want to be yourself. I've gotten more people interested in my products when I look like a hot mess than when I'm all done up and pretty. So, so saying things like join my team and ask me how, or message me if you're interested, those are all things that sound super, super salesy. And we don't want to do that. Another thing that I've actually had some people comment on lately is seeing the same exact post pop it up in their news feed from numerous different people. So if you have mutual friends with somebody that you just saw post something that you liked, and you want to take that post, either change up the wording, change up the picture, or save it for later. Because if you post something and somebody's scrolling through their news feed and 10 seconds later they see the exact same post, oops, sorry guys, low battery. Sorry about that. It's going to look really salesy, and people don't want to see that. It's a huge turnoff. Let's see. So no graphics, make your posts personal, take selfies, take pictures of your products. All our iPhones, and I don't know about Samsung, I'm not a Samsung girl, but iPhones have these amazing cameras now. You can literally make a picture look professional. So use that. And there's all these amazing filters out there. You can be a professional iPhone photographer. So do it, utilize that. Let's see. Let's talk a little bit about the Facebook algorithm. So Facebook literally does not want us to sell on their platform. Instagram is the same way. I'm not so sure about the Instagram algorithms, because I use it, but I'm still learning that platform. But I do know a lot about Facebook. And so basically what happens when you post a post, you want comments on it within the first 15 minutes of it going live. So what I recommend doing, what I personally have for my team, is a group chat that we only send our posts to. And we just there's a way to share your post to a group chat, and it's called our Post Love chat. And there's no talking in it. No extra here and there stuff, so people aren't getting blown up all day. And what happens is you send your Facebook post to that chat, and then people on your team will start to see that, and they'll go and comment on it and give you some love on your post. But you don't want to be commenting just like yay or yes or things like that, because with the way the algorithm works is you have to have 4 comments for it to bump the post, or 4 words for it to bump the post. So say something nice about that person. If somebody posted before and after, just don't say, oh my God, girl, you look amazing. I'm guilty of that. I'm guilty of that because I feel like I don't have time, but I really do have time. It takes 2 seconds to say something with more than 4 words. So when you're helping somebody, those people are going to help you back. So, and we all want everybody to be successful. We're all a team here. So if you see a fellow Plexus person post something, help them. Comment something that Plexus has helped you with. It helps everybody. So that's the basics about the Facebook algorithm. And then I wanted to add on, when Brittany was talking about being real and vulnerable, I don't want to go into too much detail because pretty much everyone on here already knows my story and where I've come from, but I've always been really open about it. And especially like I went through a divorce about a year ago, and that was something that I was extremely open about. And after my divorce, I lost a ton of weight, and people trusted me on my weight loss journey. They trusted me about Plexus because I was so open about everything else in my life. So when I lost 30 pounds, they wanted to know how I did it because they were inspired by my story of who I am. And I wasn't on there being negative, talking about like bashing my ex-husband. I was trying to be inspiring. So definitely if you're going to be open and vulnerable, don't be negative about it. And just stay as positive as you can and try to be inspiring. If something bad happens in your life, turn it around and make it something that is going to add value to somebody else's life, because you never know who's going through the same thing. And that's how you get people to trust you, is by being real and open and vulnerable. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Ashley. And what are you talking about? Plexus posts.
Yes, I am. So to go off of that, I want to add that, what Brittany and both Andrea talked about is just being real. Like, it's scary to be real and authentic and share your insecurities, but I feel like that's when people, like Andrea said, trust you, but they make a connection with you. Like, wow, like this person gets what I'm going through or how I feel. So then they're going to start following you because they feel connected to you. So then they're going to be open to what you post. So when you do post Plexus, they might be more open to it. So what I'm going to do, I'm all about sharing. When you start out, you're like, I don't know what to do. And even though like I've only been in Plexus for 2 years, but I've been in MLM, since I don't even know how long. I was in nursing school at the time. So I think it's been 5, 6, 7 years. So my first post from my last MLM was real bad, you guys, but I've grown a lot. And what I'm going to do is share with you what I posted, especially when I started with Plexus. Because y'all, when you start with Plexus and you start seeing results, you're freaking excited. And you need to capture that and you need to post it. And it's the simplest things. So I have a new girl who's so excited, and she messages me, and I'm like, so-and-so. I'm like, that is exactly what you need to post. Don't overthink it. Like, just post that you're excited, post that. Or your mom got results, post that. So I'm going to share with you guys, and you'll see in my post that I was super excited just by reading it. So let me share my screen here. And sorry, you guys are going to see lots of selfies probably on here. But I lost you guys now. Let me see. I want to make this big enough so you can see it. There we go. Can you guys see this? Okay. So you can't see my photo because the lighting really is bad though. But it was like a dark, like I lived with my brother at the time. This was my first Plexus post, you guys. I started February 3rd. February 11th was my first post. And I was freaking excited because I've always had bloat and I was a big skeptic about Plexus. So you can see in this post, I said, I just snapped a picture for you guys. I didn't care. I was excited. So I posted this really bad lighting picture. And I said, sorry for the bad lighting, y'all, but I'm so excited. I had a burger and fries and 2 margaritas. I'm not bloated. And that was huge for me. Like everyone knew I was a fitness guru, and I had abs, but no one knew that I had horrible bloat. Like I'm talking, I looked 6 months pregnant by the end of the day. It was horrible. So I shared that, and you can see, like, I didn't post anything about plexus. So what I tell my newbies, and if you saw my video in our Start Fresh group, I talked about how I didn't post at all about plexus right away because people didn't know. So create that curiosity. If you don't tell them, they're going to want to know that much more. So more than likely, they're going to comment on your post. So you can see I had 68 comments on my first post. So it kind of blew up without me even realizing it. But I was excited. I was just telling everybody. I'm like, no bloat. I'm so excited. So that's one of the posts. This one, having my pink drink before my Valentine's dinner. Like one of my first dates with my boyfriend. So just one of those. And then having my pink drink while I was at work, and my shirt said, Ashley Olsgaard RN. It's a really cool picture that I love. Just showing people that I'm an RN, they can trust me. Oh my gosh. Y'all know, like, fitting into your pants is a huge deal. Snap a picture. Like if your clothes are baggy, snap a picture. And feel free to take a snapshot of this so you guys can use these for, ideas and share them to make posts. But, fitting into your pants is a huge deal as a woman. This is the beginning. I was only down 6 pounds. Like that's not a lot. And this was February 25th. So I was just shy of a month in, but I started talking about the business already. I started making a paycheck right away. So I started sharing about that. And so I said, bloat is gone, down 6 pounds, stomach is flatter, fitting into my jeans that I haven't fit into in 2 years. And I'm earned enough money to cover my rent and utilities within 2 weeks of sharing. Like that's huge, you guys. People need this opportunity. So share about it. You don't have to have a huge testimony, a huge income right away with Plexus. Just sharing like, hey, I got my products paid for this week, or, I paid for my kids' activity, or I paid for my grocery bill. People have to put groceries back because they can't afford it. So having that is huge. So share that. And you can tell, like, I'm so excited, exclamation points, emojis. Yes. All the things, share that, do it. Next one. So I did like a little, intro, just like something encouraging, something like people know me for. But then I'm like telling people like, I feel freaking amazing. Like if you feel amazing, you need to share that because not everybody feels amazing. And so they're like, well, shit, I want to feel amazing. Sorry. But like they want to feel amazing. Like people, so I'll just share like my business coach from my last MLM. She wasn't with my MLM. She was just a business coach. She was independent. Like I don't feel qualified to have her on my team, but because I shared so passionately about how great I felt, she wanted to join me. Like I'm not qualified to have her on my team, but she joined me because my storefront was open, like the girls were talking about, and I shared, and she felt like shit. Like she doesn't feel good. And she's like, I want what she has. People want what you have. So be excited about it. Share about it. This one, sorry I'm blowing up y'all's wall, but I can't stop sharing how much Plexus has changed how I'm feeling. And all my freaking issues. And I mean, I had a lot of issues. I did. That's no joke. But snapping a picture of me after I got a workout in and, just sharing something little about that. And then I just share boldly, you guys. Like, people are crazy if they don't join you on this journey. So don't be scared to share boldly. And then this one, like, if you haven't jumped on the bandwagon yet, you need to. Plexus has changed my life both physically and financially in just over a month. I was so blown away. I hit #1 in Plexus, and that was huge for me. Like in my last MLM, like I worked my tail off, and I was told when I joined Plexus, like it's going to be different. If you work as hard as you did in your last MLM, you're going to actually make a really good income. And I was like, whatever, like, I don't believe you. Plexus is different, you guys. So many people don't even know about Plexus. It's crazy to me. My friend, like I said, joined in Minneapolis, and she's like, nobody knows about Plexus. I'm like, I'm telling you, like, so many people. Like, it's still really, really new. So let's see, just a couple more, but I hope these are helpful. Like, this is just how I got going. I just kept sharing every single day. Like, if I felt excited that morning or that afternoon, I was going to share it. You know, don't even think twice about it. And if you've already made a post for the day and you get excited and you're like, gosh, I feel so good today. Okay, 1, snap a picture, and 2, write that stuff down in a note on your phone so you can share it later. But the thing was, I mean, I felt so bloated. I was always so bloated. So that was like really my thing when I started sharing, was like just my bloat, because so many people are bloated, but that was like the one thing that I noticed. So everybody's different. Whatever it is for you, share that. Oh, this one was huge. So I won't get into my story, but I basically had to choose between my job and and going full-time with Plexus. And so this was the start of it, but we were closed for 2 weeks at my job. I was a nurse, but I was in laser hair removal. And so 2 weeks not working is a huge flipping deal. And I had no idea Plexus was going to be something that was going to give me money during that 2 weeks that we weren't open. So I was freaking out before that. And then all of a sudden I was like, holy cow, like, this is amazing. And then I just thought this was cute. Like, when the direct deposit, I think says like hit your bank or something. I can't really read it, but I thought it was cute. Like, the little girl and she's shopping, like, that's going to make somebody stop. It's not a salesy post. It's just like, oh, what is this? You know, she looks cute. So kind of funny. And then my friend had amazing results. So I shared that. So if somebody had like messages you and was like, oh my gosh, like, I'm so excited, I've lost, you know, X amount of weight, or they share a picture with you, or they say they're not bloated anymore, or the doctor says their results or their tests are so amazing, you need to snapshot that and like share it. Whether, you know, you can do it in your Instagram stories too. A lot of times, like, if people are messaging me, like I cross out their names and stuff. But I share that because people want to see that other people are getting results. So I'm going to just a couple more here that I was going to share with you just recently. Like I said, you're going to see a lot of selfies, you guys. So this is another one. So this is a great post to make your own, but I don't think I talk about Plexus. No. So still to this day, there's a lot of days where I don't say anything about Plexus. I just talk about like how these products have helped me. I feel so good. People know what I'm usually talking about, but the new people like don't. And this isn't salesy. Like, I just share, like, your body is supposed to be working for you. So I say, like, intense cravings, binge eating. I used to be the worst binge eater, and I thought I had an issue, and it's just so bad. Like, my story is crazy. I was controlled by binge eating. Inflammation isn't normal. Being bloated isn't normal. Doing all the things and not getting results isn't normal. People are going to relate to this because so many people have these issues. And so you're saying, no, your body is not supposed to work that way. So if you feel that way, something's going to click with them. So you can say like constipation isn't normal, or diarrhea, or whatever it is, acne, like something's going on in your body. So that's going to click with them. And then you say like your body, like what I've noticed now, like I'm not inflamed anymore. You know, I don't look bloated. So anyways, I could talk on and on about that, but that I think is a really good post. So I would really snapshot that and make it your own. So, and I can always share these too on the Start Fresh. This one, like I made this, I saw everybody posting about this, and I didn't even talk about Plexus, but people knew what I was talking about in this photo, I feel like. Because people started commenting about Plexus in the comments, but I just talked about like no more inflammation. Crazy to think back that the photo on the left was when I was starving myself, you know, so I kind of put the two and two together. Like everybody's posting this, but I'm using this as an opportunity to share with them what I've gone through and where I'm at now. Like I'm eating 2,000 to 2,400 calories and my face is a lot thinner, something's going on. So it's going to catch their attention. And then when I was sick this week, like I was able to still work from my phone. So that was an opportunity. Like I was sick, it sucked, but I was like, okay, this is an opportunity to share with people. I didn't have to call in sick, which is huge. A lot of people have to call in sick and use their PTO, or sometimes they have to just not get a paycheck, which sucks. So anyways, those are some of the posts I have. If you guys want me to post them, let me know. I would be happy to. I feel like,
please.
it's super helpful to have those for examples. So that's all I got.
Also, if you are on my team, especially, you're probably from Western Washington, and we got hit with like a snowpocalypse today. Going off Ashley's last post, today would be a good day to post, oh my gosh, I'm so glad I worked from my phone, so I didn't have to, because like if you had to call in sick, think about how many people out there today just had to not go to work today because the snow was so bad here today. They're missing out on a day of pay, but we get to work from our phones, so we aren't missing out on anything. So that's great. One thing that I wanted to also talk about, something that we recommend doing is hiding your posts. Don't delete them, because if you delete them, they're gone forever and you won't remember things you posted. But every so often, go back to your, like the week before, maybe do this like on a Sunday night, go back the previous week and hide all your posts about Plexus. Not all of them even, but the majority of them, you can just switch the privacy settings to only me. And then like when you add somebody new on Facebook, they're not just seeing, oh my gosh, all this Plexus, this girl just wants to sell me something. They're seeing your personal post that Brittany talked about instead. This isn't something that I personally have been doing. It was an idea that Brittany had, and genius. Like, I don't want people to think, new people that are coming on my Facebook, I don't want them to think that I'm just trying to make $1 off them. I want them to see my life and everything about it. I got cute kids. I want them to see that. So
and you want them to feel connected to you right away, like to see something like, oh yeah, I connect to that.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. Well, I think that's all we have tonight, and we will see you next Monday.
Bye, everybody.
Bye,